Hi, I'm Greg. Welcome to my van adventure. So, this story started in Regina, the place where the last video ended. I had broken my favorite cup, the only cup I travel with. It was an old ceramic cup that, you know, it was already fissured on the side. There was already a crack and it finally broke. So I went to Walmart since I was sleeping there to look for another cup, and I did find another cup that will not break. But I also found a few worthy mention. I'm sure that all of my friends that are not from Canada are going to have a laugh at those. Um, I was also looking maybe for, I don't know, Halloween stuff to decorate the van, but I decided not to. So I left Regina then, and moved to the next town, which was Moose Jaw. Weird name, I know, like Eagle Beak or I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, Moose Jaw. Really nice place actually. I was really uh, like I said in the last video, I was already low on gas. I knew that I would be having trouble with gas this month, so I decided to stay longer at each place. um, so I already knew that I was going to stay a few days in Moose Jaw, and it was fine because there was a few places that I could stay there. um, I stayed at the Walmart, and I also stayed in a really nice park. Uh, I alternated between one and the other. Um, it got really cold, really cold, and because the only heat in the van is my propane stove, I actually realized that I was running low on propane as well as running low on gas. So I had to manage that. On the 14th of October, we actually had Moose Jaw had their first snowfall, and I was there to witness it. And I woke up with ice cycle in my mustache, which was, surprising, but because I was perfectly fine. The my body temperature while I was in the bed was absolutely fine. I was warm, but I had ice cycle in my mustache. That was weird, but you know, uh, it actually was not the first time that this happened since, until today. It happened again. Yeah. So back then, I had to get my boots, all my boots and my gloves and my 2.5 season coat out of storage because that's what I needed to stay warm during the day. Um, and with the addition of the sleeping bag as a blanket on top of the bed, it's even warmer. And like during the night, I have no problem, even if it's -10 Celsius outside, which happened. Uh, I have no problem while I'm in bed. It's when I try to get out of bed, getting in my freezing clothes and everything. That's terrible. But for the rest, it's perfectly fine. Um, the park they had in Moose Jaw was really nice. I walked around a few times. There was this really nice big turtle in the middle of the forest, and with people made tiles on top of it. Was really artistic. Um, And one of the morning I got there, there was a few deers that I completely scared. I don't know. I'm probably grizzly. I'm starting to be grizzly bear again. So I started them, and but yeah, really nice park. After that, I moved to a small town, really small town, where I couldn't stay there more than a day because of the place where I had to sleep. It was the parking lot of a school slash arena slash church. Like all of the building were together, and there was a parking lot there. So I stayed there just for one night because there was school during the day, and yeah, I didn't want to just be the Candyman white van in the middle of the place. So I just stayed there one night. Oh, and uh, while I was going there, I was following a train, and I got this weird optical illusion where it seems like you're not moving at all. Because before I grabbed the phone to film it, I was driving at exactly the same speed as the train. So it really felt like the decor was moving, but I wasn't. It was weird. Anyway, um, so after that small town, I moved to a, a really nice abandoned uh, municipal camping ground. Like it used to be, uh, they used to come and clear the rubble and remove the trash and stuff like that. There was fire pits. It was made to be lived in, but it's been abandoned for quite a few years. The road was really nice though, so it was perfect for me. Um, and it was a really nice place. On the second day, I stayed there a few days. On the second day, the police came in to check up on me. Um, so the locals, I don't know why, because the road of that small camping ground doesn't go anywhere. The only place it goes is that camping ground. It's like a circle. Um, so the locals called the police because there was a white van in the camping ground. So apparently, it's something that the police are really interested in because sometime they're going to have, uh, criminals that just stays in places like these and do their criminal stuff, I guess. So the police was just checking up to see what is that white van, what is it doing there and everything, because there was absolutely no problem for me staying there. It was just that like the locals were uh, curious, and the police was also very curious. The policeman was a really nice gentleman, and he was from the area of Vancouver. So we started talking, and we talked for I don't want to. I mean, it, it must have been close to an hour, probably an hour, and it was really nice. Got a lot of information about Vancouver, about going to Vancouver, because I was planning to stay on the Highway 1, which crossed basically most of Canada and goes very close to or in Calgary, then up in the mountain near Banff. But talking with the policeman, I realized I had already thought about it, but I realized that seriously, it would be a better idea for me to switch to another highway and go a lot further south across the Rockies. So yeah, that helped me decide that. It was really nice talking with the guy. Um, so that was just a little bit before a town called Morse. Um, and just on the other side of Morse, I stopped at a bird watching tower. So there was really nothing there. It was just on the side of the lake, no trees, nothing, and a bird tower. And I parked just beside it. It was so windy. Well, it's been really windy the whole time I was in Saskatchewan, seriously. Um, it was so windy, I had trouble holding the camera steady because of the wind blowing on me. Um, so I was just beside this lake. There was a lot of birds flying around, but not that many that you could see during the day. I filmed a flock of them passing by. Um, and the lake, there there was white residue everywhere. It almost felt like it had snowed, and there was snow on the ground. So I'm guessing the lake is probably really salty, I guess, or maybe a lot of calcium in it, or there must be something. I was going to say wrong, not necessarily wrong. There's nothing wrong with the lake, but there's something in the lake that's being left out when it dries up, I guess. Um, but it beside the wind, it was a nice place. After that, I stopped at a truck stop. It was a little bit weird because it wasn't close to a gas station or anything. They just left a plot of land specially for trucks to stop at. And it was pretty remote, like it was close to the highway, but it wasn't that close, and it wasn't close to anything in town. And actually there wasn't that many truck that came to stop there. So I stayed a few days. um Really quiet, really nice sleep I had there, probably the best sleep in this period in this video. Yeah, so it was a really nice place. I stayed a few days, don't remember exactly how many, but maybe, knowing what I know today, maybe I should have stayed there a few more days. After that, I got to the city of Swift Current. Really nice city as well. Um, and Again, I knew that I couldn't move a lot, so I decided to stay there for a few days. I thought that there would be more places to sleep. Like in Overlander, there was a few options, but when I got there, I realized that, like, for example, it in Overlander they were talking about sleeping at the casino. Well, it wasn't possible. The casino was closed, and well, casino wasn't closed all the time, but when it was time to sleep, it was closed with gates and stuff. So not really possible. So I stayed at the Walmart every day that I stayed there. I think I stayed there 4 days. I stayed there at the Walmart, but during the day I would move out somewhere in the city, um, a park or someplace, just to make sure that people didn't see the van always at the same place day after day, and call the cops to see what was going on with that van. Um, so during my during my day, I would go to a park. Like there was this one really nice park with a skater park. The place with the bumps and everything for people doing roller skate. Um, it was really nice, but it was so cold that there was nobody there. But it was really nice. Um, And I also went to a recreational center. At least that's what it was called on Google Map. It wasn't really recreational. At least I don't know what was recreational about the place. There was a few birds, a small pond and a few birds, but besides that, I don't know. It was recreational because I stopped there, but otherwise it was basically a parking lot in the middle of nowhere. um, and then we get to the place where I'm at right now. So what I've feared for since the beginning, and what I've been trying very hard not to happen, did happen. Um, I've said it before. I need to move very small amount every day because otherwise, if I move too much at the beginning of the month, I end up later where I have to stay longer each place. Otherwise, I'm running out of gas. Well, it was an accident, but it happened. After Swift Current, I had 3 stops to do before making the video or before the end of the month. I had 3 stops to do, 2 rest area, and then a gas station with a truck stop. I got to the rest area and it was closed. So apparently rest area are now closed. Um, Not talking about the like visitor center or stuff like that. Those will remain open probably, but the the rest area, the just the small reserved spot that the municipality makes on the side of the road, stuff like that, they have gates and they're closed. So I got the first one closed, moved to the next one closed. So I moved to the gas station with the truck stop, but I'm basically out of gas. I can't move further. And I can't get to the next place from here. So I had to go and talk with the owner because I was left with the only option of staying in his parking lot for 5 days. So I didn't have, I had to make sure that it was okay with him. Fortunately, it was. It did tell me that, if you're still here Monday afternoon, I'm calling the tow truck and your van is getting out of here. But it's okay because Monday morning I'm going to go fill up the tank and I'm going to be continuing on my way. But still, you know, it's the uh, it's the uncomfortable position that I didn't want to get in, but it did happen. Fortunately, I the owner was really nice. I I watched I looked a few times outside last night. I wanted to take picture or a video. My electronics are not really good in low light at night, but I wanted to take a few picture of the northern lights because there was a solar flare and there was supposed to be really nice northern light Saturday, possibly Sunday. So I tried, I looked, but there was nothing to be seen. I saw that the peak was supposed to be around 3 a.m. Fortunately, at 3 a.m., I was asleep. You know, I preferred to be asleep at that time. Um, and I probably missed them. I'm still going to look tonight just in case. But the big show was supposed to be last night at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. for me, like 5 a.m. in Eastern, and later somewhere else, but for me it was supposed to be 3 a.m. and I was asleep. So yeah, so that's it. I I'm I don't want to say that I'm in the last big town of the province, but basically that's it. My next stop is the a place just by the border of Alberta, and it's not a town; it's just a visitor center. So I'm basically at the last town in Saskatchewan, and I'm getting in Alberta in the next video. Now, the I said earlier that if I do too much kilometer at the beginning of the month, then I end up at the end of the month that I have to stay for a long time in some places. Well, that's not going to be a problem once I reach British Columbia. Once I'm there, the places that I'm going to, well, not while I'm on the road, but when I'm in the place that I want to go, the place that I'm going to stop at will be Crownland, or for my American friend, the BLM. So in those places, you can stay for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. So that's not a problem. The problem is just getting there, having enough gas to get there. And I'm probably going to try to do as much kilometer as I can, as fast as I can. In I'm still not going to go all cocked and do it in one day, but I'm going to have a lot less stop in Alberta than I did in every other province. The the goal is just to cross Alberta and get into British Columbia and on the other side of the Rockies, because I've already had snow 2 times so far. So I don't want to be stuck uh, just before the Rockies and it's snowing in the Rockies. So fortunately, I'm going to be using the Highway 3, which means that I'm going to be a lot more south, like many hours south of where I was supposed to cross in across the Rockies. So you know, uh, if I'm lucky, not usually lucky, but if I'm lucky, I'm going to be able to cross, and there's not going to be any snow there. Finger crossed. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.